Hello everyone, welcome back to another video and a tree I haven't shown in quite a while, namely this Ficus Benjamina bonsai that you can see right here. I haven't shown it for quite a while because it has not had that much growth actually now in cold season, way less than other trees in this time. But I thought nevertheless it is time again to work a bit on it, improve the shape, clean up the tree a bit, since I have last time repotted it into its first actual bonsai pot. And I have had quite a look on it now for the last couple of minutes. And I think we're gonna do something a bit more drastic today actually, because I'm not really happy with the shape it is right now. I don't like this bifocal look right here that is both at the same height. And I think I have decided on going more with, let me show you from this side, probably more with this trunk line here, because I really enjoy the taper on this side, and I think we're gonna take out most of this side here and probably also gonna try to propagate it. The only problem I have is that this beautiful aerial root that we have on this tree is coming from this branch right here. So we'll need to try to go as close as possible down to here to get rid of it. Maybe in the future we will have another side branch developing here, but I really want the tree to focus more on this side right here. So the goal is definitely a bit more drastic today. But I would say let's get right into it simply by starting with having a closer look at the overall growth. So I want to give it a bit of a prune by the beginning, just to get a better feeling of how we can then move forward with the tree. So I would simply go in and take out the tips of the tree, of the different branches, really just like new growth that has formed within the last couple of months, so the end of growth season. And now in cold season, as I said, there was not that much new growth, so we take that out as well. So also here we can continue taking out some growth. Here in the back also. This would be the side that probably we will take out, so here we can also take out some of the growth, but actually we will probably defoliate this part way more afterwards, after we've taken it off for propagation. So when I do propagations on ficus, I like to defoliate it down to maybe 1 or 2 leaf pairs, because then the tree won't need so much energy and so much water to keep the already existing foliage alive. And I do feel the propagation has a better chance of actually working if we take out some of the leaves. So we had some basic pruning done now. As I said, I don't want to go in too detailed already, except for this one, because we have 2 leaves coming from the same node here, so we still take this one out. So just correcting also some faults while I see them. Also here we still have a tip we can take out, but now I would already switch to my garden shears and have a greater look at this side branch right here that we want to tackle today. If we look at it, actually, I think by taking it out, we will shift the focus of the tree and the front of the tree to this side, because I really love how the taper is shown from this side. So this side used to be, in my opinion, the front, but I think actually such a drastic change to the tree will also change the front of the tree. So I'm trying to go as flush as possible while still keeping this aerial root on the tree, and at the same time making sure it doesn't affect the taper too much, so it doesn't look too clumpy here on this side. In the future probably we will have another side branch developing from this side, but I want to already now have it as flush as possible to take it out. So I want to really look at it from all the different sides on how to best tackle this. So I would really go in as close as possible and take it out. Make sure we get it off. So here's what we took off. What I can already see now is that even for propagation, I don't like this previous part here that we left on, where we already pruned beforehand. So I would again, take this part off and rather use this as a potential propagation for another little ficus. Now let's look at the tree at hand. It of course changes the tree completely. It sort of gives it more height in my opinion, because it really opens up this space and you really see now the long line of the trunk going up here. But as I said, in my opinion, the front is actually here with really nice taper going on. Maybe even a bit in this direction. We will do some wiring also to this tree, definitely. But I'm trying to look at it now from different sides and deciding on the front. And looking at it, just one more second. I think I actually take it back. I do actually also like this still as the front. So I think I will focus more on this side actually, because I do really like the way it looks still. It is, again here with this new growth, leaning a bit towards the front here, so I do like it. And from this side, I find it a bit too open actually, maybe. I think it's leaning a bit too much. We could try to rewire this a bit in this direction. But I think the easier choice and the nicer looking choice would be to go with this side. Maybe wire this a bit out, opening it up this way, taking out the growth here, and then having here a nice leader and here a potential back branch. I think we could go with this direction. Having said that, we already can take out this part here that leans too much into the front, already opening it up a bit more. And then I think if we wire this one a bit out, it could make the tree look really nice. Here we also have a back branch developing at the moment. This one here we might wire a bit down, creating also more of a setup here in the back, or we wired it out like this, opening up. I think I actually do enjoy that more, because then we can get this one as a back. And this one, either a wire also today, or I might let it grow a bit more because it's still very thin, so it's very malleable anyway still. The only thing I want to do is already, I think, getting rid of this one leaf here that is a bit in the way, still opening up the trunk line a bit. And I do see this one definitely as the potential new leader, now growing nicely already, having a lot of ramification going on here, so definitely a good way. Let's go back to the stump, look at it in a bit more detail still, but I think I have achieved it quite flush. I don't want to take it too far back here because there will be some dieback anyway, and I don't want to risk it dying back to a point where also the aerial root will suffer. I do really hope it will stay on it. If not, I think in the end the benefit for the tree in having taken out this branch outweighs the effect the aerial root has on it. There's also some smaller things at the trunk line that I want to improve still. Here we have a very thin aerial root that I do want to take out because it doesn't really add anything to the tree. So I just take this one out. It's not too deep into the soil, so we can take it out right away. And from this side, we still have a lot of the root base that we took back when actually repotting this tree. It has died back a bit more now, so I think also now we can start to clean this out a bit more. There's also some soil still clinging to it, so I really just try to really clean it out here a bit, make this part here a bit more flush also. Taking off some of the bark here still. Bit difficult to reach actually, but definitely better than it was before. Just making it also a bit more clean here, giving it an overall nicer look. Here we have also a root that I do enjoy quite, so I would leave this on. Again, cleaning out the soil here a bit, showing that there is actually a root and not just part of the trunk. I'm trying with the scissors simply to going in here a bit, cleaning out the soil underneath because it's a bit hard to reach, but that opens it up a bit more and I think makes it a bit more visible that there is actually space in between. So I think then we can already move on to wiring. As I said, there is definitely some benefit in wiring this tree already at this stage, because it will affect the overall look of it. Once again, looking at it just to make sure I decide on the right front. I mean, both sides do actually have their benefits, I must say. So both sides do have something speaking towards them. But I think with wiring we can definitely make this a more plausible front in the future, and probably still keeping up more options for us, because here I find it a bit too limiting actually, this area. And I think also the growth will move more in this direction, especially by wiring this one down, stunting the growth hopefully a bit also in this branch, making this one the very definite leader. It should benefit this tree. So we're getting some wire, making sure the size roughly fits. Now of course we're on the different side, so we need to think of how I actually do this. We said we wire this one out a bit and maybe actually hook it up with this part here, because with the leader I don't want to do too much because it actually is growing quite nicely the way it is. So just wiring this one down and maybe hooking it up to this one here with adhering to the 2-branch principle. So I'm trying to do this also in a way that it is quite visible on camera, which is always a bit of a difficult thing to do. So I hope it does show on camera how I apply the wire right now. Trying to keep my hands out of the way as much as possible while still applying the wire in a way that it actually holds. So let's hope this gives you a good idea. So I'm really adjusting it quite narrow and quite close to the tree, because I really want it to adhere. And normally I don't leave it on too long on this Ficus Benjamina, because it does bite the bark quite fast. At least the last time I had wire on it, I almost missed the best time to take it off again. And I did see some marks on the tree already in the bark forming. So that is definitely something I'm trying to avoid now. I hope I can avoid it. But the risk is simply there. So always when you apply wire, make sure you don't miss the best time to actually also take it off again. So this one we can already even out here a bit. So we would open up this one in a way like this, and this one we want to bend down as much as possible, also creating more of a side branch out of it. Having hopefully this one in the future fill in more, and we can cut it back still a bit. This leaf right here we can take out, and of course here we have a bit of growth now going underneath, which we don't want to have, so we also take this one out. Opening it up, having it fill in, of course, once the growth season starts again. A bit more here. We have here a side branch developing, so I think we can have a nice pad here. Should it not work out, we can probably take off this one here, because I'm not really sure it does serve a purpose in the future, especially once the new leader here settles in more and creates more of a nice area filling in here. So I'm just trying to adjust it in a way that makes it a bit already creating basically a pad here in the back. Looking at it also from this side, which I find quite good also. This one will probably grow up a bit in the future, filling in this area quite nicely. So if we just adjust it a bit more, this will grow up quite nicely here, filling in this area here in the back, and here probably having another side branch sooner or later creating, and overall hopefully benefiting the shape of the tree then. So I think this one piece of wire is actually enough for the tree right now. As I said, the leader I wouldn't go in too much at the moment. I would leave it like this. See also new growth developing in growth season, hopefully maybe coming in at certain points here, so it is already showing some nice ramification here. Hopefully this continues in the future. And I think overall the tree benefited a lot from just a little work on it that we did today. If you have any questions about this tree or any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I always love to read them. If you enjoyed this video, of course, feel free to like it. And if you enjoy this channel, of course, also feel free to subscribe to it. And hopefully then I will see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.